On the surface of cerebellum, there is a numerous transverse fissure that divide the cerebellum into numerous folium. So this part it is known as the folia. So it increases the surface area and it accommodates the million of neurons. In sagittal section, we can see the highly folded area, outer cortex and inner white matter. In sagittal section, it gives a appearance like a tree. It is known as the arbor vitae cerebelli. Microscopic view. So two folia is separated by a narrow white line. So each side of the white line there is a layer of the cerebellum, outer molecular layer, Purkinje's layer and granular layer. And inside these three layers it is a white matter. Outer cortex contains grey matter and inner part contains a white matter. So here which type of neuron present in the cerebellum? So in the outer molecular layer, two type of cell are present, that are the basket cell, stellate cell. Their axons are present longitudinally to the outer layer. Cell bodies of Purkinje cell lies in the Purkinje cell layer and their processes are directed upward and it lies in the molecular layer. So in the molecular layer, stellate cell, basket cell and dendrites of the Purkinje cell. And in Purkinje cell layer, it lies a cell body of the Purkinje cell. And in the granular layer, that lies a granular cells and Golgi cell. So in the outer molecular layer, here in the slide we can see a lightly stained outer molecular layer that contains a few nuclei of the neurons, that is a stellate cell and basket cell, and it contains the dendrites of the Purkinje cells and it contains the axons of the granular cells. And in Purkinje cell layer, it contains a single layer of Purkinje cells. And inner granular layer, we can see the granular cells and the Golgi cells. So darkly stained area in the granular layer, it shows a nuclei of the granular cells and Golgi cells. Efferent fiber of the cerebellum are climbing fibers and mossy fibers. So climbing fiber passes through the white matter, then the granular and Purkinje's layer of the grey matter and enters into the molecular layer and synapse with the dendrites of the Purkinje cell. Cerebellar glomeruli. It is formed by the dilated terminal of the mossy fiber. Okay, so the mossy fiber is surrounded by the dendrites of granular cell and axon of Golgi cells. So this fiber forms the cerebellar glomeruli. In the granular layer, we can see lightly stained area, that is a glomeruli, and fiber passing from it is the mossy fiber that forms the glomeruli, and climbing fiber that ends in the molecular layer. And darkly stained area is the Golgi cells and glomerular cells. So granular cell is small neuron. It is a smaller neuron. So more number of granular cell is present. So the cerebellum contains a large number of neurons. Gray matter in the cerebellum is thicker as compared to the white matter. We can see here outer gray matter and inner white matter. Efferent fiber are the climbing fiber and mossy fiber. Climbing fiber synapse with the dendrites of Purkinje cell in the molecular layer, and mossy fiber forms the cerebellar glomeruli with the axons of the Golgi cell and dendrites of the granular cell. The granular cell axon goes upward in the molecular layer and it divided in a T manner transversely. Climbing fiber and mossy fiber also gives a fiber to the intracerebellar nuclei. Efferent fiber from the cerebelli are mostly the axons of the Purkinje cells that synapse with the intracerebellar nuclei, that is a dentate nuclei, emboliform nuclei, fastigious nuclei and globosous nuclei. And from these nuclei, efferent fiber arises. Function of the cerebellum is maintenance of posture, maintenance of muscle tone and coordination of voluntary motor activity. Cerebellar lesion or cerebellar disease produces a triad of motor dysfunction. It is a disequilibrium, hypotonia and dyssynergia. Disequilibrium, loss of balance characterized by ataxia. Hypotonia, loss of resistance by muscle